Hello everyone and welcome to Daria Draws. How to Draw Anything is a mini series of videos in which I explain the main principles when I'm about to draw or paint something or about to tackle something new and unfamiliar. So hopefully by the end of these videos you will be able to do so as well. As you might have guessed by the title of the video, we're talking about shapes today. And why are we doing that exactly? Well, the silhouette or the overall shape of an object helps us to distinguish between that object and any other. Just like you would have guessed by the silhouette of a person you know that it is really somebody you know and not just a stranger in the night. So to do that, to get the shapes right and to get the character of the shape right, we have to simplify it because we can't always just eyeball everything and estimate and do everything perfectly. So how do we simplify these shapes and these silhouettes? By making them first in geometric figures and then adding the needed curves and details, and that's how we get basically the shape that we need. Of course, there's more to drawing than just doing the geometric shapes. There's shadow and light. There is working with the contrast, with the color, with the composition. But I feel like it makes the most sense to start with the basics and something we've learned everyone knows geometric shapes, so it would be easier for a beginner or even an intermediate to start with those and then move gradually to more complicated stuff. So this is the first video of the series and stay tuned for more. Some objects are a bit obvious than the others, like the apple, for example, just has two shapes, which is a circle and a trapezoid at the bottom. You curve down the lines, add some details, and you're done. Now let's take this bird, for example. It is a little less obvious, but still we can break it down into shapes, like the two circles for the body, and for the head, we add a neck, some wings, the beak, and a leg. Erase the lines in between and you're done. It definitely takes some practice to see all these shapes, but spend some time analyzing whatever you're drawing and you'll be just fine. Now here you can see that we are making a square pillow, but the square is distorted due to perspective, so we kind of distorted on the drawing as well. Then you just add some folds and some curves that are present in the pillow and remove the rest. Now, if your object requires perfect symmetry, you can use the center line. The point of it is that it divides the object vertically into two bits, and you can compare the two sides to get them equal. Here I'm making a cylinder, which is a perfectly symmetrical shape from both sides. Each part has to be equal, so not just the sides but the ellipses, so the top and the bottom as well, and it's just very easy to check. Once you have checked all the symmetrical bits, you can clean up the lines so that they don't confuse you in the future, and you're done with the shape. Now, if we want to continue drawing and turn the cylinder into a perfume bottle and make a little cap on top, we can totally do that using the same center line. Not all vases require a perfect symmetry, but most of them do require a center line to keep balance.
don't be afraid of using too many lines in the beginning. That gives you freedom of choosing later on the correct line, and the rest will go, and that will leave you with a pretty decent drawing. Now let's talk about something called proportion. It is definitely part of a shape. So how do you know how to make the object look like itself? This is when the proportion comes in handy. For example, the bottle we were drawing came out too short. It looks weird. It doesn't look like itself in real life. So where did we go wrong? Well, there is a very simple trick. You can just take a detail, which is the cap, and compare it to the body. In the wrong drawing, the proportions are off. In the correct, they're right. So you can just take the cap and measure how many caps are in the main bottle. So it is just math. It's like a ratio. You can do that height-wise and width-wise.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something, or at least picked out a few tips and tricks how to build your own shapes and how to draw objects, and we will tackle shadow and light next. So I'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.